Okay, so I came across this revelation today. I was thinking about it pretty heavily. What is, what happens when somebody gets high? What happens when somebody, why do they choose to get high? Why do certain people choose it? Some other people don't. Why is it that people keep going back to it? And I realized that it's in that moment of getting high, there's a truth that is realized instantaneously, that most of the world does not see, taste, know, couldn't comprehend. And that truth is that there's in life, there's burdens that we all carry, we all bear with us daily. Some of them good, some of them bad. There's a combination of both. We're supposed to have a yoke on our shoulders, a weight on our shoulders to keep us moving forward progressively, but we cannot have it be at a point where it crushes us to our doom and our detriment. And so let me give examples of that. So in life, we have tons of burdens on us. And the second you get high, all those burdens are lifted off. And you're in a place where it's like your head's above the clouds. You can breathe fresh air. You can see sunlight again. You just, whoa, this is the freedom that we are all searching for continually. And constantly we're searching for it. And when you take a drink, when you get a little buzz, when you get a little drunk, you've achieved that a different way. It's a different way of getting to that point of clarity, of release, of getting rid of the burdens and being set free from all the burdens of life. Now, each person carries different sets of burdens, like I was talking about. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Let's give an example. So family is a burden that we all should bear because it keeps us refined. It teaches us how to be a better person through the experiences we share with others and how they share those experiences with us. So in a healthy way, you're continually growing and you're always becoming the next better thing. And that's a burden to bear. It's a good burden. It keeps you motivated, keeps you happy, keeps you moving in life because you have a purpose. So that's a burden. Having to work is a burden. Something we can't just sit around and do nothing in life. We have to aim for things. We have to achieve things. Otherwise, we feel pointless, or we feel, it's just like we don't have anything to us, any substance, or I'll say a feeling of a destiny, a feeling of achieving a destiny or fulfilling something of that sort. We're purposeless. So these are burdens that are good. There are burdens that are bad, whether that's physical, emotional, spiritual, news, governmental, city, state, country, worldwide. All these have. I'm sorry for this moving camera. I got a bad setup, and I'll be fixing it soon as I bump it some more. So hopefully this isn't in the future. But so you have all these burdens, and the news places burdens on you. The science books, textbooks, philosophy, whatever it may be, life in general is just constantly adding burdens. Some big burdens that just lay on your shoulders, and that that one thing is what causes your doom feeling. And some of these things are small and minute things, but there's enough of them that it can feel the exact same way as a big burden that's bore on our shoulders. So yet again, the revelation is you get high, you get above the clouds, you breathe for the first time in a long time. The issue with that in life is that it's a momentary thing because we can't escape it. You can't escape it permanently. You can't dodge it. It is something that you have to work with, or it will destroy you. And that's just life, right? You got to keep moving forward. So the problem with people getting high, the problem with people trying to get that freedom is that it's always temporary. It's permanent. It can't be permanent because this is life. We cannot be that permanent. I just saw over here, it's blocking my new backdrop that I purchased for this whole setup. So I wanted it to be in the picture perfectly. Okay, so we can't, this is life. We got to live it. And those burdens, they just come with it. So the temporary escape, whether it's, drinking a beer, smoking a joint, getting heroin, cocaine, whatever it may be. I'm not endorsing any of these things. I'm just saying that they all have different levels of, you won't feel the burden of life for X amount of time, an hour, 2 hours, 24 hours, 8 hours, whatever it may be. That you can find that release, that freedom from everything in that short period of time frame. The cost is, there's always a cost, your life, everything that you have, everything that you own, everything that you dreamed of in the future. These are all costs that are compounded into the issue of getting high to temporary escape. So everyone essentially needs a long-term solution to getting rid of those burdens. Otherwise, people like myself in the past got depressed and get depressed, and people bear those burdens. Yet again, it could be emotional burdens from childhood to psychological burdens from what you do know, or maybe what you don't know. Maybe you know too much of something or not enough of something. And then there's physical burdens, like what issues do you have to deal with physically to survive? Are you in good health? Are you in poor health? Are you aiming for good health, but you're in poor health? And that has a burden of double burden, because you want to achieve something, but you're not achieving it. So you are failing yourself constantly. So not only are you not getting better, you're failing yourself in that regard, but at the same time, you're physically failing yourself because you're unhealthy. And then there can be, name the bad things that could happen to you that would cause a burden to be on your life. That's a different level. Same thing with the news. News is pumping out these things that it wants you to hear, to feel, to experience, it's throwing all these burdens on you, and you're just stacking them on because it's interesting, and it's always interesting, like, load that up. But at the end of the day, at the end of the year, you don't even realize that you're depressed, and it's all because of these burdens that you've just been piling up. So yet again, what is the answer to this long-term solution that is required so that you are permanently head above the clouds, breathing? And or maybe you still are below the clouds, but you can much more easily, much more successfully, long term, keep moving forward in a way where you feel it's positive instead of negative, or still or carrying all the negative bad burdens with you. Now, what I found was that through Christianity, I found that release of those burdens. And what I did as I got more and more Christian is that the only thing that comes with it is all positive features. Things can be twisted out of their elements, and people can get misconstrued things from the Bible, and it hurts some people, sets other people up for failure. But if you understand it and you follow it with your heart, chasing after whatever the end goal may be, positive things come your way. I mean, entering Christianity, the music's positive, always has a positive message. It's always very motivating. It's always very like there's a brighter tomorrow sort of thing. And there's a lot of, like, all the rock I listened to growing up, nothing ever had those positive messages. It was destruction, death, and, craziness. I mean, I listened to some pretty bad music growing up, but anyway. The release from, I'm sorry, I was trying to get caught up to where I was at. So being set free from all that, I mean, the church music is positive, it's good, and it puts you in a good mood when you're in a bad mood. When you go to church, if it's a bad church, if it's, there's always the cliche, people saying hi, people doing this, but there are good churches. There are good people out there who want to know you. And then when you go there, it's positive music, positive environment, people all looking towards the same cause, to the same word that someone else is giving, and trying to apply it to their lives to try and better themselves, but also better the world at the same time. So it's all a positive goal forward. Not only that, there's people there who will pray for you. People, when you share your burdens, your issues, like, hey, I'm going through this something, I'm suffering through this something. I need somebody else to just know that, but also be on my side, be on my page, someone to understand where I'm coming from, have no connection to me, but be in a place where they're positive towards my receiving of the end of that result that I need, that I'm looking forward to. So there's people there that are going to be like nice to you for nothing. They don't get anything in return. Maybe they get to go home with a good feeling, a sense of being able to pray with somebody. That's something. That's pride, and but that's not a bad pride. It's a good thing that you're doing that sacrificial time, right? But there's people who are doing that for you. There's programs through churches to help you, to help your family. And all that's positive movement, moving forward constantly. And that's weekly when you go there and you do these things. So it's always refreshing. It's always keeping you in line. But not only that, the Bible is set up in such a way where God's basically saying, if you wanted to do good things in life and to walk things out successfully in life, if you wanted to somehow follow these footprints, this path set up for you, and good things will continually come your way because you're following in the blueprint that I set out for you to follow. You can choose to do your own thing. I'm sorry, I got to remove this thing. I'm not going to do it right now, though, because it's terrible, but I'll watch my hands. You can choose to follow my blueprint. You could do your own thing. You do your own thing, you're going to suffer. You're going to get the things you want, but you're going to suffer for it because there's nothing that can be done without a cost to it. Or you can follow my blueprint. My blueprint will tell you the things to do and things not to do, things to avoid, things to ignore, things to press into in life. And at the end of the day, you can feel better because you're always relying on that source of leading you forward. You're not trying to do it on your own steam, your own momentum. There's something else pushing you forward to greater things constantly. So I unapologetically invite people to Christianity, to experience that, to try and wrap their heads around that. Because when I was depressed, I didn't have any of that, and I didn't have people, and I didn't have positivity in my world. It was something that I only achieved after I became Christian, after I was saved, and have been experiencing, going through that experience of going from non-Christian to Christian in my lifetime, and continually walking through that as I'm always aiming to press forward. So that is the place where your burdens are taken or lifted, the bad ones, taken off, set free from that. And when you walk through life, you no longer walk with that baggage, those burdens constantly weighing you down, that negativity constantly gnawing at you, constantly breaking your bones and grinding your meat. Nope, all that is taken off. And you start moving forward. And yes, you still have those burdens, but these burdens you can work through, you can work with, you can drag that, and you can move through life. And it's by the end of it, you're going to be stronger. You're not going to be destroyed by it, but you're going to be stronger to go with it. So that's what Christianity has to offer. And if anyone says otherwise, good for you. If you decide that you don't want to walk that route, good on you, man. I get it. Like I've seen people, very intelligent people. I've seen positive people. I've seen people who, would blow your mind by the conversations they would have with you. They don't accept Christianity. I get it. If you can make it through life without and, do your own thing, then do it. It's not meant for you. It's meant for people who are suffering and people who are recognizing the flaws of life and are suffering through it, but in a way that can get it done positively. Good on you if you don't need it. The Bible has something to say differently. I mean, about that situation, and I guess we'll all find out in the end. But for now, good on you if you can make it through life without being depressed, without all those burdens trying to crush you. Good luck. But I choose the other route because I've been there. I've done that. I wasn't happy. At the end of the day, I wouldn't recommend depression and suicidal depression on that to anybody. So I guess I'll leave it there with that message. There's more videos to come in the future. So keep coming back. Check me out. All right. Peace out.